Hello friends, welcome to I Made Me Think video series tutorial for REST API testing and automation using Ruby as a programming language. So this is the second video in this series, and we were discussing about what are the gems we are going to use for this. So we discussed about net/http gem and rest-client gem. So in this video we will see net-http gem. So this gem, as it is said, this gem is a part of regular Ruby distribution. No need to install it explicitly, but for now just see what are the list of gems we have that I have installed. So these are the different gems I have installed. So of course not all are required for, but see this HTTP cookies, HTTP form and all, and net related. So net and netrc. So these are the gems which are required, but this is, as I said, this is already a part of your default distribution of Ruby. So we can write the programming in simple notepad and we can run it, but I have used an IDE called RubyMine. So RubyMine is one of the most popular IDE which is used for Ruby programming. So this is the project structure. So how to create a new project is go to file, new project, and put the project name and proper path. So I have created this project already. In that I have, so as it is a very simple project, src folder and that one class file, and also I need to have a gem file. Here you need to mention all the gems which are required for this project. So let us come to the class file. Now as Ruby is a scripting language, there's nothing like main class, so everything we can start executing. So these are the required gems we need to put, and class name. So before that, as I discussed in my earlier video, the application which I have developed for testing purpose, user management, so that is running locally in my local Tomcat. So this is that application which is running, and I Made Me Think web application is also deployed and it is already running. So we are ready to do the API testing. So let us see one simple get and post request which is very popular and which is very good to understand. So we discuss we will discuss about different scenarios here. So I have taken one get and one post request for our study. So get request. So this project structure is like this. So basically define all the methods here in the same class file, and this is the basic variable initialization, all are hash maps. Again for scenario 1, there are 6 scenarios, so for each scenario again a special init is required. Later we can go and do it similar to like testng or JUnit. So in Ruby we have something called RUnit like JUnit, but that is out of scope of this project. So we will do everything in same class file. So let us see the get sign up details. So get request. So get request. So first we will see the documentation. So get sign up, get request we are going to use. So this is the URL, http localhost, because it is running locally, 8080 port number, I Made Me Think /RESTful API /account basic /sign up. So sign up is an endpoint for this application. Sign up get is there and sign up post is also there. So we will see sign up get. So if we see the parameters, in the request there are no parameters except the we need to just pass the URL, and the response will be 404 if it is a bad request, or if it is a URL is invalid, and 200 if the response is success. So consider that we will get the URL in this variable URL temp, and we will also have to pass it. So this is a technical syntax we need to do if we have to raise a request using net HTTP gem file. So you have to pass the URL, and then net HTTP new, we have to instantiate the net HTTP here with the host and port name, and I have put timeout as 10 seconds, the read timeout basically. And here I am providing the parse temp, the request URI, and this is where I need to set the headers. So I have set the headers as content type as application/JSON and accept type as application/JSON. Connection is keep alive, user agent can be anything. Right now I have taken it as Mozilla. So as we understand from the specification document, this application which I have developed accepts only JSON format and produces JSON format. So it is our duty to send the format in JSON and accept the format in JSON only. So that is why content type of my request is JSON, and what I am going to accept from the application is also a JSON format. Now actually raising a request. So this is technical syntax, HTTP temp dot request and the temp. So we have just want to mention, we have defined it as a get method, so it will do a get. Now since there are many conditions in which we have to test it, so I have to take a case that the application, the Tomcat itself is not running, the application itself is not available. So I have done it like an exception handling. So in Ruby it is like rescue handling. So if the web application is not running, then this rescue or this exception will be raised. So I have handled it here. So I will just put print that web application is not running, and I will just return it. If web application is running, but if you are getting some other error, for example timeout error or any not evaluated or connection is reset, then I have put some other exception handling and I will just return. So basically I have to do all type of exception handling, so that the request, whenever I am raising request, if it fails because of any reason, it should not continue, it should then and there stop, or it should return here. So this is about setting up the request parameters, headers and timeouts, and raising the request. Now next is response handling. So as we have in my slide, there is one in my PPT, there is one slide for how to handle the request, how to handle the response. So response, first handle 4xx series of status codes, then 5xx and then 2xx. So same thing I have done it here. So I am just printing the response code, response body and content type. So very first thing to check is not the response code, but is to check the content type of the response what we received from the web application. So as we know that we accept only JSON format, and if the application is also sending the JSON format, then it is fine. If application is sending in XML format but we accept is in JSON format, then there is no point in continuing. So that is why here content type of the response we are comparing. If it is not application/JSON, we are just going to return it. Okay, then next we are going to handle the status codes. So 400 is a client side error. So if anything is any issue from the client side, for example client is requesting some URL which is incorrect, or it is hitting to some other port, or any client side error, that should be handled here. Then 500, so if server is down for maintenance, or if there is a bad gateway, or if internal server error, so that is all is handled here. And success status is handled at this point. So 400 series, 500 series and then 200 series. So now as it is a simple get request, we should expect status code as 200. This is as per the specification here. So if you see the sign up get parameter response, so HTTP 200 is okay if the user get sign up related parameters are received. Okay, so now this is how this is the format in which the response will be received. It is bit big, but it is clear and it is detailed. So whenever we get the sign up parameters, say any typical application, say Gmail or anything, we should get these kind of things. So we'll get the activity status, additional message and the payload. So this is the format these are the fields of your sign up form. Basically sign up is a form, so we should get a form. UI is a form, but technically we should get these many fields and the links, additional information. So if everything is fine, then I will be getting status code as 200, and then I have to pass the response. So now we are clear that everything is fine, the response code is 200 and the response format is JSON. So now start passing the JSON. So this is the JSON formatting, this one parsing formatting I have done as per the specification. So this is all I have put it in one JSON, and then just I'm comparing with the reference, and I'm extracting the object from the response in string, response body basically, and I'm putting everything in detail. Otherwise, if any other status code means, I will just say that following invalid status code is received, and I will quit the test. So this is about basic GET request using net HTTP gem files, gem in Ruby. Now let us see a simple post request. So now if we see the specification for sign up post, endpoint or sign up post API, there are some form parameters required, because in a real world, when we create an account, we give our input through UI, say first name, last name, username, password, etc. So like secret question 1, secret question 2, and their answers. So similarly, our API, my API is designed like this only. So we need to give this as a form parameter. So to pass the form parameter, I have taken it as an array. This is the syntax in which the net HTTP library accepts it. So I am filling all the parameters here: email ID, first name, last name, gender, password, whatever as per the specification, and other things are similar. So I'm getting the URL here, and I have raised it as a post request. Again, the rest of the parameter remains the same. Well, there's one more thing, is URL encoded. So the form parameters we are not sending as a URL, we are sending it as a form. So that should be in this format. If you see the specification, sign up post, method allowed is post, and see below. So all form parameters should be of type application/x-www-form-URL encoded, because it is a form. So we have to have this URL encoded form, otherwise it is not required. And similarly, we have this raising request, exception handling, handling the status code sequence. So first we will check the response content type. If it is JSON, then only we will proceed. If it is 400 error code, we'll handle it here, 500 series here, and 201 or success series. So as per the standard HTTP status codes, now this is a post request, means we are creating a user, or we are updating one database, or we are creating a resource at the backend. So we should expect 201, that is created as a status code. So I have handled it here, and this is the response I am parsing the JSON. Now if you see, as per the specification, if everything is correct, if the user is created successfully, I am expecting 201, and these are the only 3 key value pairs will be there in the response. So activity status, additional message, payload, and links. So that is what is handled here. Okay, so this is all about simple get and post request using Ruby as a programming language and net HTTP gem. So we have seen the gem list, we have seen the gem request example, get request example, post request example, header setting, raising HTTP request, parameter passing, query parameter or form parameter, and response handling. In the next video series, we will discuss about all the 6 scenarios. So as of now, only one scenario, and in that only 2 steps we have taken. So in the next video, we will see all 6 scenarios. If you have any questions, any doubt, please put it in the comment section. I will be happy to help. Please like and comment and share the videos among your friends. Thanks for watching.